Hi everyone, my name's Literally Donkey, and today we are back on these Donkey's feedback kind of things. So in the last video, I got a comment saying, "Hello, I found this cool game on the Game Maker forums, I wonder if you could do a review on it." I also noticed it was the same game as someone that had emailed me, and I hadn't obviously replied for whatever reason. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and give it a go. The game is called Trail Leader. I think the goal is pretty self-explanatory, and the whole game itself I found was very self-explanatory actually. First thing to note though is the game itself is an installer, which people in general don't like, especially on these kind of low necessity games even. So it's 21 megabytes, but if that was a standalone that would be so much better. Even if it was double that but it was standalone, it would still be better, just because when you run this, anything else can be installing along with it, and because it's not a genuine source, we haven't got any proof of whether it's safe or not. So that's something to change. It really simple in the settings. Also, I believe the name of it was like made with Game Maker or something. Yeah, made in Game Maker Studio 2. So possibly work on that. It's also got Power Defense 6 in it. I don't know what that is, but yeah, we're not going to be playing with sound because I personally found the sound to be quite annoying. I mean, personal opinion and all. It's also random a bit there. But I just found it was too, it's just the piano, it just kept going over and over and over and over and over again. And yeah, when I said at the start that this was pretty self-explanatory, well, this is it. Really, this is the gist of it. It does get harder later on, but for the moment, this is all that really happens. Now, there's something that I didn't notice for these earlier levels, is that there is actually hidden walls around most of this, which, in my opinion, I don't particularly like. I don't think it's particularly good. For example, here, I know there's a hidden wall there. I just forgot to check, so we have to go all the way back round again. Be careful not to touch them, and go and pick it up now. Well, you don't necessarily have to get all the tokens. I don't know what the tokens are. Maybe there just isn't a hidden wall there at all. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the hidden wall is fun, I think, but only once you've introduced it. I think at this level it wasn't introduced, it was introduced later. Realistically it shouldn't appear if that's the case. Also, I found that there was a considerable problem in that, especially on like this kind of level, this one is clearly harder than this one. In this one there's things that you touch and you die. This one there isn't. So my method of going about these things is to solve this one first and then solve this one, and that worked for most of them, and I found that perhaps it was too easy for the same thing with this one really. So yeah, what I'm going to do here is go and grab that coin thing there, then I'm going to reset and do this one here first, because I know that I can do this one without any of the others dying, and then that basically makes my life a whole lot easier. Same thing goes for this really. I can now do this bottom one relatively easily, because I know that top one's pretty much stuck in a box there, and then I do the top one last. I think perhaps this is a little bit too easy. Oh, we've got this one. This one was fun. Time remaining. I felt that it was a nice even minute. However, I also felt that there wasn't much of a challenge involved to it. So this is where it got introduced, because we have to go through that. Oh no, the last level was even. Yeah, I feel like this level does kind of provide a challenge, but it's not incredibly difficult. I've already done it once, so I know where all the hidden walls are and stuff, but all the same, not incredibly difficult. Seeing as I knew where that was and that was sloppy, and I did it relatively quickly. Now, this level, I have to show you something because I noticed some considerable flaws in this level. See that there I did not touch. Yeah, if we work our way along here, right, do you see that? The closest to anything I was here. On here I was right up against this wall. Here I just touched that one, so again I'm not entirely sure what that was all about, why that happened. Yeah, it was a bit of a mystery there. I'm not sure if that was an intentional thing or whether it was something they had built in, you know, whether it was an accident or whether it was meant to do that. But in my eyes, those blue things indicate the end. So, okay, to me, that's what that means. And having that blue thing being a bit misleading, I presume it's actually a orange thing, I'm not sure, but it did make it rather hard for me to understand what was going on there, which, yeah, personally not a fan of. Just trying to think how I can do this. It does, I mean, this is what I mean, after a certain point it does start to get kind of tricky. So at this point the difficulty is starting to ramp up a little bit. Although at the same time, I know where these are. I know. Hang on a minute, that did not do it. Yeah, it's kind of infuriating, the game itself. There was also a little slight problem that I noticed with the hitboxes and stuff, or the collision boxes technically in this. In that if you, I'll try and do it now. Oh, okay, I've managed to work my way through the bottom there. If you get kind of close like that, yeah, do you see that? I at no point did that frame touch, but it's because the animation going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, when you move, means that when you touch that, you get, even if you don't touch it, it still does it. Also, I've just noticed a slight glitch now. This tokens, in fact, means absolutely nothing, because I was sat there thinking 18, that's quite a lot for what we've done. I realised if you keep going over this and then dying, it doesn't subtract them. So if I keep doing this, then I just keep racking up the points. You see? That is a rather considerable flaw, but one you could probably work out, to be honest. It's probably not a end of the world kind of flaw. Yeah, this is the problem with the box thing, is if I'm walking along, if I was just a tiny bit closer, I would have thought, if I'd gone up on that frame, then, let me show you. There, you see? There's about like 3 pixels there. However, on the other frame, I'm only 1 pixel away, and I think the collision is based off of that 1 pixel away, which is a little bit misleading. So we're gonna just finish off this level, I think. Once you've got any one left, it is really simple. It's just a matter of getting them right. Okay, we've got fun on this level. I personally don't like the idea of having fake ones. I feel like it just turns into a measure of how well you can do trial and error. So all I'm doing now is just going through collecting these every single time and then just ticking off which one's right. I mean, you could look at it though, you could say it's unlikely to be one of these side ones. The likelihood is the middle. right? I mean, if I was to guess, I'd say this one. Yeah. Okay, we've got a little bit more time for this one. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The art's alright. I think it's acceptable. The music, as I say, I'm not a fan of. The gameplay itself, there was a few bugs, a few glitches, but overall it was alright. I didn't think it was too bad. But possibly rethink the idea of the blue portals being fake, rethink your idea of fake walls and where you've actually put the fake walls in and where it was fair to put them in. And yeah, just think about, as a player playing through it, what would you experience? That's the goal, really. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you like the video, remember to like, subscribe, or do you guys want to do, and I'll talk to you in the next one.